How can I become more environmentally conscious? Oh, that is a really good question. Oh boy. Sorry. Alright, yeah. Question is, how can I become more environmentally conscious? Environmentally conscious means like that ki. Alright, yeah. So question is, how can I become more environmentally conscious? What's the environmentally conscious? Environmentally conscious means like that ki, like basically whatever the things that you gonna do, does it affect on the environment? Yeah, it affect on the environment. Example is this thing, like right now I drive my bike. Okay, yeah, my bike consume fuel, petrol engine. Okay, yeah, and it create little bit pollution, not really that much, but little bit create pollution. So how do I supposed to not to do that? How do I supposed to kind of like a something conscious about environmental? Because creating pollution is a kind of like a something like that key, not good. So how do I supposed to conscious about? How do I supposed to not to do this thing about? Well, probably is this thing that key, like basically if I'm kind of a consider that key, because of I drive my car or if I drive my bike and it create the pollution, and so because of kind of like a somebody I'm really environmental conscious, so should I not drive this thing or what should I supposed to do? You have a lot of ways, by the way. Okay, first of all is that ki go to the service station, figure it out that ki why your car or why your bike are actually creating that much pollution. Okay, yeah, because of kind of like a somebody the some sort of problem in your engine or something like that, or change the oil or something like that. If you could do that, then probably you would reduce the fuel consumption, you would reduce the pollution that created from your bike and something like that. It kind of like a something really help you. Who the fuck is kind of like a something that noise? It's kind of like a something that distract me a lot. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, if I wanted to conscious about kind of like a something like that the environmental thing, then probably I just have to make sure that the whatever the kind of like a something, the whatever the kind of like a something that the things that I'm driving, okay, it should supposed to be kind of like a something control way that it emit the pollution. Okay, yeah, control way. All right, yeah, by kind of like a something like that servicing my bike or servicing my car or something like that. Okay, this is the way that I kind of like a something represent I am bitterly conscious about the environmental thing. All right, yeah. But there are kind of like a some sort of ways that you could kind of like a something show that you are kind of like conscious about environmental thing. What are those ways? Okay, yeah. First is reduce, reuse and recycle. Okay, yeah, like minimize the waste, recycle properly, upcycle. Okay, what exactly is this thing? Example is this thing, you went to the market. Okay, yeah, and basically you have to buy some sort of thing. Okay, yeah, if you buy kind of like a bread or kind of like a some sort of thing, you need a carry bag. Okay, and probably the carry bag that the owner give you is a plastic carry bag, which is really not that good, because a plastic carry bag is kind of like a something the things that you're gonna use and then you throw. Plastic is a kind of like a something very hard to decompose through the earth, through this earth crust and something like that. All right, yeah, and it kind of like a something create the plastic pollution, which is really not that good. Okay, yeah. So how do you supposed to do that? Instead of like a going empty handed, always carry the paper bag. Okay, or always carry a kind of like a something a bag that kind of like a something that you could use again and again. Okay, yeah, don't rely on kind of like a something plastic bag that kind of like a shopkeeper is actually giving to you. No, like just kind of like a something that key, something use this kind of like a something carry bag again and again. So that's why you are kind of like a creating little less plastic pollution, which is really good. Okay, conserve resources like a water, energy, fuel. Do I have to conserve? Conserve means like that saving, means like that water, energy, water or any kind of like something energy, electric energy or kind of like a something fuel. Okay, yeah. So do I save any kind of like simply water? Yes, I do save some sort of water. Like basically is this thing, I use such a water which is kind of like something really necessary for me. That's it. Okay, yeah. Regarding about energy, like when I kind of like leave my room, when I kind of like simply leave my room or something like that, I turn off my light and fan, things like that. All right, yeah. Regarding about light, I usually use CFL LED CFL light, which is kind of like something little less consume electricity. Tungsten bulb kind of like a tree create lots of energy, so which is really not that good. So in my home, I don't really have any kind of like something tungsten bulb. We all have kind of like a something fluorescent LED bulb, which is kind of like a something power efficient and which kind of like a something help me to conserve a lot more amount of fuel. Okay, yeah. Regarding about fuel means like that, ki petrol and things like that. Do I kind of like a simply waste or do I kind of like a simply overuse that? No, I don't. Okay, yeah. Like basically is this thing. I use my bike whenever I want to kind of like go somewhere else. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, I don't really use any kind of like a something that key which kind of like a waste or which kind of like a somebody doesn't really need it. Okay, yeah. Because let me tell you one thing, I'm not belong to the kind of like a somebody high class people where kind of like a fuel is kind of like somebody very convenient for me. No, fuel prices are really heavy. Okay, yeah, in India. So that's why we are kind of like using it very wisely, and I'm using my fuel very wisely too. Okay, yeah. So this is the way that I could kind of like a something that key conscious about energy. All right, yeah. Choose sustainable food like a clothing, food, and packaging. Okay, yeah. What's a sustainable product? Sustainable product means like that ki kind of like a something product that kind of like a sustain for very long period of time. Example, don't wear kind of like a something use and throw product. Okay, yeah, like basically use and throw means like that na, like basically in India. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, ki regarding about the consciousness regarding about the consciousness about the environmental are kind of like a something are more. Example is this thing that ki if you are asking this question to the people who is actually from US and Europe, and they would kind of like a something spend more amount of energy and time on something like that, so they would kind of like impact on something really impact a lot. Example is this thing that ki like a uh, I don't know, like should I supposed to like kind of like something criticize, or should I supposed to kind of like something that key compare between the, no, it's not, it's not. Okay, what exactly is this point? Is this point is actually about that ki how do you supposed to like use sustainable product na, like basically whatever the product that you use basically is it has to be kind of like a something sustained for longer period of time, so that you could use again and again. So that's why adopt eco-friendly habits like reduce the meat consumption, compose meat consumption. Okay, do I eat meat? Yes, I do eat meat. Okay, huh? Do I kind of like simply reduce that thing? Well, usually we consume meat, or we consume kind of like simply chicken or kind of like a mutton at the weekend probably, yeah, or maybe kind of like a simply twice in a month. Okay, we are not kind of like a consume every single day for meat. Okay, yeah, but um still is this thing that key meat consumption na. Well, for me, I consider that ki meat is a kind of like a something high source of protein, which is kind of like a something really good for your health and things like that. And I wanted to be include meat or any kind of like a something something like steak or something that to regular diet. Okay, yeah. So how do I supposed to kind of like a something really this uh, I don't know, dude. Yeah, basically it's this thing na ki meat consumption. Regarding about meat consumption, do I want to kind of like something really reduce the meat consumption? Uh, I don't know, but I think I am not. Okay, yeah, because I actually consume meat is because kind of like something necessary for me. Okay, yeah, like I don't really over consume everything. No, nothing really at all. I consume meat like it's kind of like a something necessary for me. So that's why I consume. Like, does it really impact on kind of like a something environment? Well, yeah, basically, is this thing if you want to eat some sort of meat, probably that meat came from some sort of animal, and you have to kill that animal to kind of like get that thing. So, uh, okay, um, so Yeah, I will try to consume, I will try to reduce little less meat consumption, or try. Okay, I'm just a try. Okay, yeah. Support environmental factor like a volunteer, donate or advocate. Okay, yeah, means like that ki do you kind of like a somebody join some sort of community who is kind of like a somebody doing really good for the environment, like some sort of like there is a community who is kind of like somebody planting trees. So do you want to join? I definitely want to join. Okay, yeah. Do like there is some sort of community who is actually clean the surroundings, so do you want to join that particular community? Yes, I wanted to join. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you is this thing, these kind of like a simply community which is not even exist in the local city that I live, which is actually available in the tier 3 city where people are really kind of like simply aware of that environmental fact and things like that. Yes, I definitely want to join that particular community, but the things that that community is not even exist, the where I live, okay, which is actually exist in metro city, but does not exist in the tier 2 city vagara. So yeah, but definitely I wanted to join that particular environmental causes, volunteer that thing, donate particular things or things like that. Yes, I wanted to do that thing. Be mindful of consumption, like a buy less or repair. Yeah, like do, yes, we have that kind of like something attitude. Okay, yeah, because of that key, like I'm belong to the India. Okay, yeah. And we have this kind of like a something things called jugad. Okay, yeah. What it means, it means that key we are kind of like a something always find for value for money, like whatever the money that we are actually spending, we have to get the value from that. Okay, yeah. So yes, like basically originally this is kind of like a something inbuilt inside of me. So we are kind of like a simply not buying things and kind of like a repair more as good as possible. Okay, yeah, like basically like a toothbrush or any kind of like a stuff, like we use that brush for like a till the end of all the braces, all the kind of like a things are kind of like a gone. Yeah. And these are kind of like a something mentality. These are kind of like a something mentality that all the Indians have it. Okay, I'm not really sure about the another country people, but probably I'm gonna say that ki all the Indian people have this kind of like a something like this thing that ki buy less and repair a lot. Okay, yeah. So yeah, then educate yourself with others, stay informed with the environmental things. Yeah, create the greener space, like a plant green, grow greens. Yeah, do I do that? Yes, no, probably. Yeah, like basically I plant some sort of trees with my mother. But yeah, so these are kind of like some of these steps that I am bitterly conscious about environmental thing. Probably I'm not really sure. Yeah, but I will kind of like do those things. Okay, yeah. So this is it. I should supposed to be in here, and thank you.